theFlowering for this reading. Today we're doing a pick a card called Beyond the Fog. All right. Sometimes in life we can get confused or not know which way to go, okay? Because there's something that's blocking our view. So we're going to look beyond the fog though at your situation and see how best to navigate it with the higher perspective, okay? So just take a moment, take a deep breath, and choose the pile that best calls to you. Oh, I just noticed that I took you guys' thing. Okay. All right, let me make some space. Beautiful. Make sure I get the most loving guidance. Getting the rose quartz assistance there with that. Okay. Here we go. Group 1. So, this is your situation. The world. The Ten of Pentacles. And the Seven of Chalices. Make sure you guys can see here. I know you guys are upside down, but I'm trying a new situation here, okay? So, looking at your situation, it looks like there is definitely an abundance of opportunities and an influx or a downfall or downpour of blessings, okay? So this looks like a lot of change too in your environment, and I feel like it's change in so many different areas of your life. This could totally be also a connection with a family member. I would say maybe multiple family members, okay? I do get the feeling that this could be multiple family members, and there's been perhaps a lot of talk about something in particular, all right? Perhaps the changes that you're making. So this is definitely your relationships, probably with your family or your unit. Ultimately, it feels like that there are changes, okay, on the horizon, or there are changes taking place right now within this unit. I feel like the world is definitely representing a season of change here, and this the Ten of Pentacles telling me that it's like most likely where you've often found comfort, or where your sense of being is derived from, your family unit. So ultimately, group 1, it looks like you may be having some type of changes or even discord in your close relationships, whether that be family or just your close network of friends or coworkers. What's your view on the situation? Okay, success. It looks like you're optimistic then, okay? You're optimistic about this situation and how it's going to play out. I do feel like, I think that you see so many different ways for it to play out. And I feel like you don't see any negatives, okay? I think that you are seeing right now the bigger picture here. Ultimately, you could have been the catalyst for this change that is taking place within these relationships or connections. Also, going back for group 1, just to put this out here, guys, I pull as many messages or as many messages I can, or as many that come to me. I know that they won't all resonate with every single one of you, but take what resonates and then leave the rest. And maybe it can be useful some other time. If not, leave it, okay? So ultimately, I do feel like the first group could be having some type of change in their family unit or their close circle of friends. On the other end, some of you are definitely on the brink or watching a lot of opportunities for financial security flow into you. And so then you're looking at your options. Ultimately, either situation, group one is feeling very victorious. You're already feeling victorious. Honestly, like the world belongs to you. You're feeling brave. You are, if these are still, if this situation is still presenting challenge, then it's not you're not dismayed by it. You're feeling very brave, very courageous, very capable here. Okay, so what's the fog? Integration. All right, so this looks like for group one, the dust is settling from something. Okay, so this is definitely the end to um, this situation. And the fog is the fact that it's still kind of, some people are still kind of coming to terms with what's taking place. I feel like you may be ahead of the curve in the family. Like I said, you could have been the catalyst for this. So a lot of this is still, people are merging, people are apologizing, people are coming around, okay? These are both sixes here. Success and integration are both sixes. So I feel like ultimately you are the one introducing or bringing harmony into this situation, and you know it. So the fog is that ultimately the situation is murky and you're the one that's not, like, kind of like bringing light or life to it. All right, there's still some people, they're still in your environment. I feel like here the fog is the environment, that we are mid change. You see how the moon is about to set, or it's setting. So I feel like things are settling, and as they do, you know, I see the confetti falling too from this card. So as they all fall into place and everything comes to peace in all the different areas and aspects, the confusion is cleared, and then, you know, we're ushered towards more peace. You know, this new chapter, we're allowed to move into it. So what's the higher perspective here? Oracle cards, the law of attraction. Okay, for some of you, you actually got the advice that you got the advice, whatever action you took, you got the advice from some type of divination. So you could have watched something on YouTube, and then it kind of like forewarned you or gave you basically the best possible route. Also feel like, you know, the law of attraction card here reads, each thought is an investment that pays immediate dividends, so invest wisely. You have the power to choose your thoughts and align them with love, peace, and harmony. At your request, we will gladly attune your energies to higher frequencies. The oracle card reads, you are able to discern answers and guidance for yourself and others. Honestly, some of you might have also just kind of pulled your own deck out when this situation presented itself and used this, used that as your personal source of kind of like insight for this situation. I also feel like, as far as the higher perspective here, it feels as if you followed the cues that the universe was giving you in order to navigate this. So instead of giving a higher perspective, I feel like what my guides are doing is saying that you did well, like job well done. The instructions that were pointed out for you, or the signs and clues that were pointed out for you, you've been following. And I think that because you were able to keep a clear mindset, whatever was helping you, and I feel like some of you were definitely had some type of intuitive counselor or guidance, whether that be from YouTube, tarot card, your own practice, but it just feels like it was helping you to maintain a very positive mindset. So basically here, I do feel like all that the higher perspective is saying is that you basically, job well done. You followed the guidance that you had been given. Also, for this group, their sense of discord that was in the past could have been about you taking on some type of new age thinking in behaviors or belief systems, because the family could have been against whatever you were doing. So if you came out and maybe you were doing videos or something on YouTube or on social media, there was a sense of you there was a sense of basically you got negative attention from the family basically, and it seems like because you were using this new lingo, it kind of created some type of divide between you and them. I say lingo, but you know how it is. Law of attraction, these terms and things like that that we use, divination, are all terms that have no other names in, or other, sorry, that there's terms for them in other languages or in other belief systems, I mean. So you began to, you shifted and you started using different terminology and behaving differently, using, kind of maintaining a more positive mindset even. Something should, this, whatever you were, if you started doing this, and I'm getting jumbled, and that sometimes happens when I'm channeling, so please forgive me, guys. Thank you for understanding. I think that you decided to explore your options when it came to your belief system and your spiritual practices, and that could have caused some kind of divide here. Ultimately, what you did by stepping out though and doing this or following this path is that you opened up the door for some of your family members to also see that there are other options and that it's okay to explore them. Wow. Okay. So to come, weeping willow, family sorrow, and major challenge to overcome. So ultimately, because these readings are timeless, it looks like this is giving us that, that there may be another challenge up ahead. So for you, whenever you read this, whenever you watch this, what's beyond the fog or what's upcoming for you is some sense of challenge regarding the handling of a situation. Okay. So, I just feel like you may not necessarily be, that's interesting. Okay, so it does feel like there was a shift. You were a catalyst for change. There was a sense of separation or distance between you and family. And I feel like that may continue for a little while longer as some of this stuff is worked out, especially the things that you don't necessarily need to be privy to, or that your energy is not necessarily needed, for. I hope that makes sense. But it does feel as though as this dust settles, as things come together, as the smoke clears, there's still going to be some smaller challenges to overcome. But I feel as if it's the coming out. At least it's the coming out, okay? And not the welcoming of more and new. So what is the advice for group 1? Okay, so, and the reason that this separation is here is so that because you're not needed, you don't want this to drain your energy. And I feel like that's why the separation is being had. So the advice is to mind your energy, okay? Make sure that you are honoring yourself in this situation and not allowing the success and the progress that's been made to be overlooked, okay? Allow yourself to be honored here, because I do also feel like you may also get some type of recognition for this. I don't know if you have an upcoming family reunion or some type of family gathering, maybe even a funeral. It seems as if there's some type of feedback or gift of appreciation or something that you receive. Advice. What advice do we have? 3 of Swords. Yes. Okay. So, be honest about how you feel and expressing whatever you felt coming through this situation, okay? So as you're coming through it, be very honest about how you feel. And there's going to be a need to really not honor, but I guess not brush over what has happened, okay? And then you're going to welcome in, this is the Ace of Cups. I hope that you guys can see everything that's happening, because I haven't even checked in, not once. All right. Beautiful. It looks good. All right. So ultimately, the advice here is going to be honor your feelings so that you don't self-sabotage by exposing yourself to energies that you don't need to be exposed to, So as you go through this, be mindful that the new beginning is definitely like right there on the horizon, and that new energy is being poured into or ushered into this situation. So as you do that, and because you know that you can surrender needing to pour extra energy into it, and you can focus on reserving your energy. All right. So there's definitely lots of people and their feelings involved with group 1. Group two. All right. Your situation. The Empress. The Queen of Cups. And the Master of Flames, which is the King of Wands in reverse. Okay, for some of you, there's an unexpected pregnancy. Some of you were not paying attention and were not being careful, and you are pregnant. All right, and you don't necessarily know. You may be ignoring your true feelings about it, or this is maybe not revealed yet. Okay, also, um, with this one, I pick up on some of you. There's again, this could be a female Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces in your environment. I feel like you are showing up as the Empress. And this could also just be you being 100% honest with yourself about something, about a lack of focus, a lack of drive, energy, okay? And ultimately, and that could be why. You could be feeling this lack of energy or drive because you are pregnant and don't know it, all right? So you could be feeling fatigue. Also, do feel like with this situation, you could be having your perspective or your thoughts on something, or even your feelings. Okay, you could be having some type of that could be shared or exposed. All right, and it feels like there's something where you are being authentic and vulnerable with yourself, and someone wants to bring attention to it. Okay, and this doesn't feel negative per se, but ultimately, ultimately, you're gonna it's gonna catch you off guard. Okay, and I feel like whatever this is, it may be some type of setup to get you to react emotionally or to catch you off guard. Okay, to do something when you're not expecting it, or to behave without mindfulness. That's what this kind of feels like here. Ultimately, it doesn't feel deceptive. It just seems like, well, it's kind of deceptive. Let me not be sugarcoating it. Also, I do feel like some of you are standing up to an authority figure too, and I think that you are having to use the right mixture of emotions, whatever the situation. I feel like this situation is, or the challenge might be that you're having to use a good balance of emotion and thought, or yeah. For group one, some of you are pregnant. Some of you are having a hard time focusing or channeling your intuitive insights. Some of you are having a hard time deciphering them. Even meditation, I feel like some of you are having a difficult time with that. It could be because of things in the home that are going on, children, or your own responsibilities. Could be doing this. Also, this is a situation for some of you where you are being asked to sit still, and you're having a hard time doing that. You're having a hard time focusing or channeling this energy that you have properly while you wait, or while you know, wait and surrender, basically. All right, what's your view here? Gave so many different things, but ultimately you have, I believe, the King of Swords, which is control. Yes, your view is that there needs to be some more structure to this situation. There that if it's we're talking about the pregnancy situation, some of you feel like you're responsible, in that basically that you lacked control, or that you failed yourself by not doing that, by not protecting yourself, or by allowing yourself to kind of get caught up in the moment. This is the King of Swords. So honestly, I do feel like ultimately there's a with your view, you have a very your opinion is your opinion, and I honestly feel like you're trying not to be so stern. You're trying to be open and receptive to the other people, to the other person, especially if it's pregnancy. So you're trying to be open and receptive to the way your partner feels about this, and ultimately, but still you feel very strongly and you're not budging. You want your way kind of in this situation, and I think that you view this person, the person that you're dealing with, as being kind of cold, and that their decision or that their view is lacking emotion. So this could also be the way that somebody's treating you right now, okay? And so you could feel kind of cold, right? Maybe you felt a lack of passion, and you needed to express that or own that. Ultimately, with your view though, you feel like there's no emotion here, that nobody's been compassionate in this situation, and I think that you feel like it's kind of like unfair that you're trying to be compassionate, and that nobody's trying to. Ultimately, in a pregnancy, there's no way to find a middle ground, okay? And so that can be difficult. But I feel as if somebody wants more than the other person, and this is your view, so you could feel like this other person or that this situation is taking some sense of control away from you, okay? Yeah, you want to be in the driver's seat here, and I think that because this was so unexpected and caught you off guard, you're feeling. This could also be a legal situation too. Somebody that you really, really loved, and doing something against you, and it was unexpected, and you just felt like you didn't have the opportunity to react or respond properly because you were unprepared. What's the fog? Changes. For some of you, for you, you're for you. There's fear here about what life is going to be like after this thing comes. Especially, I'm just going to go with the storyline of being a child or unexpected pregnancy, okay? You're afraid of the changes here, and once you became aware of this pregnancy, automatically your mind, because there's this control aspect of needing to have things in order, or having a clear plan, or just outlook on what's taking place, you are trying to be very realistic here about the changes, and ultimately this is happening. You're not in control here. You're not in control, and so that's the fog. It's causing fog because you want to be able to see. You can't see. You know what I mean? You can't see how this plays out. You can't see what you're supposed to do next, and I think ultimately that's because you need to trust. Okay, so the higher perspective here with this group is career change and child. Wow. Whew. Whew. So ultimately, yes. Okay, so the higher perspective here is that you believe that for some of you, you may have been concerned that you were going to lose a job. Okay, you were going to lose a job that you really love, because you have to step away because of pregnancy. And ultimately, this is happening to one, shift your focus. I do believe that there could be a career change, like a new job, but I feel that you are this child here, or this pregnancy happened so that you could be moved away from work, so your priorities can be shifted, all right, so that you can take on another role, experience something, a new life experience, all right. And this is so career change, I feel like it's not necessarily speaking to an actual career change, but it could. Ultimately, I feel like it's talking about a shift in your roles, or your priorities. Career change reads, you're embarking upon a new career that brings you the joy and abundance you desire and deserve. The child card represents, or reads, sorry, you care deeply about children, and they readily respond to your love. All children, including your own inner child, require love, affection, and attention. We can clear and open your heart and schedule so that you can give more time and energy to the children who need you. Ultimately, I do feel as though another stay-at-home moms and you have been wanting to go into work and couldn't find any direction. I think that you felt as if your life was ruled by the fact that you were a mom and nothing was for you. All of your accomplishments were tied up in that, and you've been asking for a change. All right. So if you're not pregnant, if that doesn't resonate with you, obviously this is just another story. So um, you could that's another group of you is what I'm saying. um yeah, I think that ultimately a child is being brought to you. They say that children come into your life to change the way you think about something, to help you unlearn something. So for some of you, an over focus on career, and things like that could be brought in by this child. All right. Okay, so what is beyond the fog? The month of November and love, deep affection, and caring. Ultimately, I really feel like you are going to. You perhaps the baby is due in November. Hey, Scorpios. Let's hope for a Scorpio. Okay. Uh, ultimately, that could be the case, or you could be connected with, or your partner could be have I wanted to say a Venus in Sag, so I'm gonna say that. So I do feel like on the horizon there's this partner. So this unexpected pregnancy for being for the group where it could be an unexpected pregnancy, it was meant to bring a partnership together. It was meant to deepen a connection that probably otherwise um, could have just kind of went away, drifted away. I do feel like this could have been someone that you worked with, and so because of the nature of the connection in your relationship at work, you could have been skeptical or afraid of whether or not this was a good thing or a bad thing. Ultimately, on the horizon, November time frame, you can likely just basically feel a love that you've never felt before, especially if your focus has always been career. You could be giving birth to a whole new view on life, with this child coming in. Okay. What's the advice for group two? So I don't know what's coming up for you guys. It just feels like there's either this child is being born in November, and I feel like that's probably most likely it. And this is definitely like an infusion of more joy and and just tenderness, okay? Curiosity. There's so much knowledge surrounding this decision you need to make. However, there are more options that you have not yet considered. Slow down and the right opportunity will present itself. And ultimately, here, I think that this is one of those things where it's talking about what can come of what seems like an inconvenience right now. Okay, just wait to see how things start to unfold. And I think that's the question. You had that question in mind, like what does this mean for my career, and what does this mean for this connection? But let's see what's other advice. 2, 4, 5, 5 of Cups. Yeah, don't doubt, don't stress. Avoid doubt, avoid stress, but also be sure to ask yourself where any of those feelings can come from. With the curiosity in the 5 of Cups, make sure that you are minding yourself and being sure to be honest about where those feelings are coming from. The King of Swords came out twice, so this could totally be a supervisor. But I do feel like as well with the white feather, okay? I do feel like one, the baby is a miracle, kind of like an answer from the heavens. So, advice is to just to honor that, to acknowledge that, okay? It's really, really to instill some deeper wisdom with the Hermit card coming out here for your advice final. With the 5 of Cups here, make sure that you definitely reflect on your feelings that come up so that you are very clear. I think because the idea is that you are carrying life, so you want to make sure that you speak life, that you think life, positivity, uplifting yourself. Okay, I think that you want to be able to usher this spirit into this realm in peace. Okay. I also feel like for some of you, you could have possibly lost a child last November, and then you're finding out that you're pregnant now. So it was scary or caught you off guard because you weren't trying after trying. All right, group three, the lovers, the Eight of Wands, and the Five of Cups. As your situation, okay, this situation is a choice that you're having to make. You're having to take some action to get out of a situation that I think that you've probably been in a situation before, and I think that you probably surrendered to victim mentality. You surrendered to helplessness, okay, in the situation before. But I think this time you are being challenged to choose action, to act on your own behalf, to save yourself, okay? I do feel like this is some of you do have codependency, because there is a sense of not being able to move forward out of something that's not necessarily fitting, okay? Um, because well, the Five of Cups is in reverse, so it just lets me know that someone is being asked to make a choice to move towards coming out of whatever doubt, fear, confusion. I mean, really, this is doubt, but also kind of like woe is me. So victim energy, So you're being asked to take action in a situation rather than falling into victim mentality again. I also feel like some of you may get communication from a Gemini who you connected with, and when you connected, they really you guys both really enjoyed each other's conversation. I feel like this person definitely enjoyed listening to you speak. They felt like you uplift them. Okay, so ultimately, some of these things this person could communicate to you. I'm also hearing that someone could get communication that they helped someone out of a hard situation. Someone could come tell you that, in the near future. I think that also, yeah, that person is going to tell you that you helped them over a really hard time just with your words, and that they kept replaying them. All right, and that it helped a lot. So there's a couple situations. Is there anything else for this one, for these situations? I also do feel like some of you are traveling. Someone could invite you to travel. Um, and I think that either you will, one or the other, whoever invites the person who invites thinks that the other person needs it, needs like a boost. They need some joy in their life. And I think that that person wants to assist. So what's your view on the situation? Celebration. Okay, you're feeling really good about this, honestly. And um, I think that you, one, are just kind of like happy to see that someone values you, okay? And to feel not, and this is not vain or, vanity, sorry, this is not vanity or anything like that. This is a, just a kind of like reveling in the fact that someone sees you finally, and that something that you did for someone is finally kind of coming back to you, you know? When you do things for people, or when you care for people, or you show up for people, even if you have that heart of gold where you're not asking for anything in return, it feels good to have them shower you with praise, adoration, just thanks, even for what you have done, or just for just being you, honestly. And I think that for some of you too, you're going to be so excited to hear from this person that it's just going to be like you might even somebody breaks something. I just felt that somebody like even dropped something in the excitement. Okay, moving so quickly that you drop something. The fog, truth. All right, truth. Yeah, and I really feel like because the eagle represents higher perspective, the fog here is that there is no fog. Honestly, for this group, you don't have any fog. I think that the fog was in the past. The fog was that dark cloud of knowing that what you put out, you weren't necessarily going to get back. And as good as we are in our hearts, it does kind of sometimes it weighs on you to know you won't get back what you put out. You know, so truth. I also feel like your perspective on this situation or what you thought to this situation was or to be was true, and I think that you had a problem trusting that, okay, before this came back around to you or before this came forward to you. I feel like you had a problem seeing your worth, okay? You had a problem seeing the truth of who you really are and what you bring to the table. And this communication that comes in, I guess it lifts that fog for you. It lifts that for you. Higher perspective, justice, and new partner. Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, some of you could totally be connecting with your twin flame. All right. And the justice card reads, your career brings fairness and protection to others who need your help. And the new partner needs a chance meeting is no mistake. It is divinely orchestrated as a catalyst to set the wheels in motion for the fruition of your prayers. Pay careful attention to new people we send into your life. You will recognize them by your sense of familiarity, comfort, and safety. I will say, as I was reading that, what came up to me was some of you petitioned the universe for a partner. Some of you have been asking and working to manifest your divine partnership. And when you did that, I feel like some of you, this was it could have been 8 months ago. I feel like it could have been 2014, 8, 9, 10, yeah, 14, 2014. You basically 5 years ago, 5 years have passed since this time. So what I'm getting is that you put that out there, and in the course of this 5 years, people have been coming in to set the balances right for the answer of your prayers. All right. Justice coming here is a balancing of things, which is also represented in the Lover's card, because there is a balancing of your divine and feminine aspects so that you can connect with your truest essence and offer that in a connection. All right. So some of you definitely had insecurities, doubts, and just pitfalls, kind of per se, when it comes to romantic connections. This communication that's going to come in, you are going to be tempted to doubt it. You're going to this opportunity. You're going to tempt it. You're going to be tempted to doubt it, and I feel as if you honor the fact that you are now being kind of like doused in a little bit of love and adoration, so that now you're in a position to believe you're worthy of this new partnership that's coming in. All right. I'm also hearing pay close attention to both sides. So, ultimately, because of past pains and hurts, you can form an opinion. Make sure that you look beyond those opinions. So don't let your past experiences become fog. Remember, the truth is that you're in a new experience. This is a new experience. Desk, pay attention to your work. And vase, secret admirer. All right. Okay. So beyond the fog on the horizon. So once you clear the static here, any doubts, any fears of your self worth, I think that you'll begin to notice perhaps that some of you will find a feather, and I think that you'll be like right at a corner of something. Someone's right at a corner where this person lives, this partner of yours. I also feel like obviously the person could be at work. You have a secret admirer at work, and some of you, this is someone from a distance. I heard pen pal. I heard pen pal. So for some of you, this could be the case. I also feel like this person has wanted to write you or has tried to communicate whatever their feelings are to you before. I don't hope you can see this, but on this desk there's writing paper, quills, and then there's a balled up paper here. And actually there's a man and a woman there too. So there's some communication that was scrapped, okay? So that's an email that didn't make it to you. Something missed out of office reply received when this person tried to communicate, something like that. Or tries to communicate. I don't know. The vase saying the secret admirer. So of course, keep your eyes peeled. It seems like coming up into your reality as maybe at work is a admirer. Oh, also this could be an admirer of your work. All right, a new situation is coming to my spirit. Some of you did some work, maybe some writing work, and I feel like it was your divine work. It's something that you're meant to get some type of attention for. Also, I feel like you just forgot about it. You know, you did it and it's gone and you just forgot about it. So some of you may also just feel like come back around and this thing comes to you at a time when you're not even working on that thing anymore because maybe it's lost its spark. Maybe you just, don't have any inspiration right now, but then it comes back around for you. And the person involved has likely just been watching from afar and admiring your work. So the advice for group 3. Advice for group 3. Steadiness. Things seem to be moving slowly, but use this time to your advantage and gather your resources. To gather your resources and rebuild your energy, you are going to need them. It does feel like all the things that you've learned up until this point, especially if you're that person who's been waiting on a twin flame or a romantic connection to come back around. If you've been waiting upwards of 5 years, then you've probably kind of gotten disappointed and just wondered if it was going to happen for you, if this was going to come through. And now you're being asked to drop the worries because you're going to need all of your emotional energy. I think that you've already dropped them. I think as this person, when this communication comes in for you to kind of get a feel for what the energy is, it helps to move you out of any doubtful energy, okay? So, Two of Swords, yeah. I think you couldn't see progress, so it was kind of frustrating. And I think the advice is to just remember to keep your eyes open for indicators that things are playing out for you. And final card here. That was quick. The King of Pentacles. Yes, steadiness, right? I feel like that's a good word to describe the King of Pentacles, steadiness. All right, just know that you're constantly building. The stability of this thing is constantly building. All right, so trust that this is stable, even though it seems like it's going to be a pretty quick and fast moving type of thing. All right, as this information comes into you, it could develop into a dating relationship really easily or really quickly. And you're asked to trust it, to see it for what it is, and honor the truth that you are indeed in a new cycle, in a new energy where you have attracted this thing that is good for you. All right, that can feed your soul. Group 4. What is your situation, group 4? King of Wands. The Magician. And the Page of Pentacles. Adept of Crystals. For some of you, there's a situation where you want to work on someone else's behalf. Okay. I feel like there's someone in a situation that maybe they feel like they don't have control over or they don't have power over, and you want to assist them. You could be assisting them by just giving some advice, but I feel like you are pulling some strings for them. Right. This could be, you could be speaking on someone's behalf, honestly. I also feel like some of you are really focused on manifesting some financial abundance. Also, budgeting. There's something here about spending, shopping addiction. So, some of you are trying to kind of get a rein on that. There is some of you, this person in group four can confuse a love for aesthetics. Um, you can not confuse it, but sometimes you use that as an excuse to overspend because you like to look nice. So outward appearance has been overly important. Image. And I also too feel like the situation here, some of you are um, feeling urged or feeling like you want to create. Also, this for this group, you are introducing a project or idea to a leader, a funder, or some type of this could be like a marketing or something like that. You're presenting a type of project to something that you're working on by yourself. So you're presenting this to someone who's more of an expert. You're looking for expert help on certain projects. Okay, there it goes. You want to be able to delegate, but you want to make sure that you're delegating to people who can actually help. Okay, whatever this is, you're doing by yourself, and you're pulling from your resources. I think you're doing a great job of pulling from your resources, but I also feel like you are also trying to just be able to. You want to be able to pull away from it, I guess, and trust that it's going to be done. Hope that makes sense. Your view, Ten of Cups. I honestly feel like for that group, yeah, someone who was focusing on manifesting more income or more opportunities for money making, you're optimistic about it. Honestly, I feel like you do feel inspired, to focus in on it. I think that you feel that for some of you, you got to over focus on this. Some of you are overly focused on this. And I think that the way you see it is that it's going to bring you happiness, that it's what's going to bring you fulfillment, that whatever this is, that's going to bring you fulfillment. Also, if you've been trying to call in help, I think that you recognize the need for it, and that it will help things move a little more smoothly. Some of you are also seeing this differently because some of you feel like you're supposed to be acting, right? There's the action. And I think where you are right now, I think, yeah, you feel like you're just in your head sometimes. And I feel like sometimes you feel like you think you're overly optimistic, And let's see what the block is. Struggle, right? Because you anticipate struggle. You expect everything to be difficult for you, all right? You expect energy to be stubborn. Some of you have a stubborn target. Exactly, like a stubborn target. And if that's you, then you feel like this person knows, or you question whether this person even knows what will make them happy or knows what the right move is. I for this it just I feel like I need to say it. They say no, but you know that it's a yes, and but you can't convince them that it's a yes, right? You have to let them come to that themselves, right? Back to the person who's trying to manifest a little more money, okay? It seems like you're used to struggle and you're used to kind of like swimming upstream, right? And ultimately, this is your block because you are optimistic, but I think because there's some sense of attachment to hard work and nothing wrong with that, but ultimately, you don't need that to manifest what you need, what you desire. You know, a lot of you are needing to shift your mindset to realizing that you already have abundance, happiness, peace, joy, and I think that may help to unblock this, right? Because this is 10 and this is 5, so it's almost cutting your manifestations in half because you're still taking action as if you have to fight against some type of energy that's working against you. All right, but ultimately everything is already working in your favor, and I think because you insert too much action or needing feel like you just need to act and move, then you interrupt your own harmony, by the way, and then you create more and more blockage for things that are supposed to just easily flow in at this point. The higher perspective, flowers and relationship. All right. Working with flowers opens your heart and brings blessings to others through your life purpose. Y'all look at this too though, but look at all these flowers here. So this person, you could be trying to focus in on, oh wow, I just heard very, very clearly that some of you have been dabbling in different things and trying to find your niche. The niche is like flower essences or flower infused oils. Okay, that is the answer. Essential oils. Okay, that even. Um, it's like the production, not necessarily the growing or the selling, but there's something in the middle there with creating a type of product from other things. So you have a grower of flowers, then you have the person in the middle who takes those flowers and makes certain things from them, oils or salves or tinctures, essences, and then they pass them on in exchange for money. Basically, you sell those or provide those to companies, and then you're paid in return. So for some of you, for probably the majority of you, sometimes I like to get all my cards out at first, but sometimes I like building on the reading because it gets interesting. So with the flowers here, I do feel like some of you are overly focused on making money and are being asked to just relax and find peace and joy in your surroundings. Also, some of you might need to bring white or yellow flowers into your home or your sleeping space to help with keeping a clear and pure environment for you to think, focus, even sleep. Your relationship. Your primary relationship is with yourself and God, and every other relationship follows from there. To attract, heal, or balance a relationship, then snuggle more closely with your loving Creator. As you feel safe and loved within, so shall your other relationships bloom and prosper. And honestly, I feel like this here is like the kiss from the divine, right? Kisses, forehead kisses, right? And with the dolphins being very intuitive, okay, loving, nurturing, it does feel like that is what that is, a kiss from the divine. Um, with this relationship card here, I think this builds on the fact that there was an over focus and someone wanted you to stop and smell the roses. Like if you were overly focused on making money, on working, on doing something, and you were asked to stop, put some rose petals in the bath water, lay there, soak, and just chill. Focus in on you. Basically, any action that you're taking right now should be to make you feel more beautiful, to make you feel more confident, to make you feel relaxed and rejuvenated, because there are things taking place, but they don't require as much of your effort as you're putting into them. So, beyond the fog, fair man ends May. dealings or relationship with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair in the month of May. All right. So I feel as though some of you, I heard like the scent of cherry blossom. So cherry blossom could end up getting a gift of like a perfume or something like that from a gentleman in the near future. I also feel like um, you could, if this is a work thing and you are that person who was trying to find their niche and are identifying it with flower essences and things like that. And I feel it very specifically, like this is not like just herbs in general, but this is very, very specifically herbal essences, like flower essences. This person could, I'm hearing, could be in Asia right now. I don't know why I feel that, but they could be in Asia right now. Could be coming to visit. Could be in town in May, and you might bump into this person. I also feel like you this person could be a Taurus, right? Is that May? So a Taurus person could be on the horizon to assist you. I feel like I want to pull you guys another tea leaf card. Let's see what comes out. For group 4, what do you want to add to the fair man in May? What do you want to add to the fair man in May? Dragon. Beware of self-delusion. Okay, I also feel like this is just another added question about be mindful and don't overlook something that's flowing into you, okay? That's trying to bring you in more understanding and balance and peace. Sometimes when I see dragons, I think about duality because I think of, a dragon of being, you already, when you think dragon, you already have a connotation. And I'm not saying that there is some sweet connotation to dragons, I don't know, but it just seems like when it comes to duality, you have dragons, then you have bunny rabbits. So there's something here, don't take this person's maybe aggressive type energy or aggressive type nature or how focused or serious that they might be. Don't take that. Don't be deceived by it. There's a soft nature to this person, a caring nature even to this person. For some of you, you might even get a apology from this person, apology or assistance with something. Um, but ultimately, it comes with, like, I see like a bouquet of flowers, you know. So something, they hand you a bouquet of flowers. So this person could do that with a gift or with some type of accolade or something as well. Advice. Four of Swords. Yes, take some time. Relax a little bit more. Four of Swords. Make sure that you are reflecting and only taking action that is necessary, deemed necessary by spirit. And you will know it because you won't have to force it. Things will work with you rather than against you as you're attempting to do it. Okay? If you're trying, exhaustion. I was just getting ready to say, if you're trying to go here and go there and your car breaks down, then you're going to have to trust that something wants you to sit down somewhere, right? Something wants you to wait. Four of Cups, apathy. Also feel like Four of Cups is rejecting a need for relaxation. So, this person could also give you some type of advice for dealing with anxiety. This person could also give you business advice or financial advice because they're trying to help you figure out how you keep what you're missing, how you keep kind of ending up at the same place. Also, when it comes to those who resonated with the herbal essences message, uh, don't bog yourself down thinking about how you're going to get there. There's, apparently people going to be introduced very soon to assist you in diffusing whatever fears, diffusing any fears, anxieties that you currently have. Okay. I do also think that nourishing your body is going to be important right now. Um, I heard pick your brain. So just be careful, or make sure that you ask questions. Be very clear in your communication. Okay, I don't know. Is that it? Long and challenging as this journey is, it is worth the struggle. The results are long term and worth every sacrifice made along the way. So trust that you didn't necessarily need to exhaust all the energy that you did, but in the end, you still come to this favorable result or outcome. Five, group five, your situation. Two of Wands, Page of Pentacles or Page of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles. Okay. I said the Page of Pentacles, so there's definitely something that has created some sense of blockage for you. I think it's slowed things down for you. Um, and I think you are waiting for something to play out. Okay. And ultimately, you're not seeing all the possibility in a situation, or what all is being offered to you in a situation. Honestly, I think that you have your plan and the action steps that you want to take. I think you have them all mapped out already. But then there's other ideas and inspiration and guidance that you're overlooking in the situation that's been offered to you, and you may be overlooking it. For some of you, you're trying to get out of debt. Some of you trying to get out of debt. And ultimately, there's little to no planning that you've done. You just know that you want to do it. You want to get out of it. With the Page of Cups, I honestly feel like with the Page of Cups, this is like a sense of looking at yourself and seeing how, for quote unquote, you play yourself when it comes to this situation. So it's almost like, what possibilities have I? What are the possibilities that I have kind of like, I guess, played myself out of because I wouldn't focus in on, or I wouldn't take this advice. I feel like there's advice that's been offered to you, guidance, even love and affection and attention that's been given to you that you want to basically ignore or run away from. Okay, so there are some possibilities here, and I don't think that you're able to see just how. I don't think you're able to see it. I don't think you're able to see the bigger picture here with what you have. Very specifically, there's something that you have now attached yourself to, and are you turned not necessarily you turned your back to something else to give your attention to something. So if this is a romantic connection, even you have two sexual partners and then a lover who wants to offer, and you are considering one of these sexual partners. One of these sexual partners, you're asking yourself if there's a possibility here with this person. I also feel like, and you have these two people, you're more attached to one than the other. And then you have outside of you, this could also be this other wand wanting to offer you more, but you kind of in your mind have already started to look at this other person as the option rather than the one that is in there. Nobody's communicating anything here, so none of your fault, but I think that you're looking at one as a better option than the other, and that other is kind of like ready to offer you something. Ultimately, here the Five of Pentacles is saying that somebody wants to come out of being alone, and I don't get the feeling that it is like codependency or anything like that. It's just that, so many other parts of your life have started to kind of come together, and you're seeing the possibilities that are ahead of you, and it almost highlights for you, areas that you still don't have, progress in, or you're not seeing progress in. So for some of you, also, you're very specifically waiting for an offer from someone or an apology from someone who hurt you. How do you feel about it? The Creator. Okay, King of Wands in reverse. You think that you are actually aware or asking yourself if you're putting your focus in the right place. So maybe you're unsure of whether you are focusing in the right place. Ultimately, you don't want to end up the Five of Pentacles out in the cold because you took the wrong offer. What's the fog? New beginnings. White. You're looking at the possibilities, and ultimately, because you don't have the ability to see how it turns out, you're trying to pay attention to all of the pieces here so that you make the best decision. And the fog is, I want a brand new beginning, and what's going to bring the new beginning, of purity and everything like that. Ultimately, I feel like you've drawn in some of the same energy. Some of you feel like you're repeating a cycle. Some of you feel like you weren't trying to bring in more sexual partners. You were trying to bring in more potential life partners. And I think that some of you maybe have had sex with these people, and I mean, granted, I said that was two sexual partners, but ultimately I feel like some of you are wondering if you've begun an old cycle again, or if you've cleared enough out in order to move forward and have a brand new cycle. And I think some of you are asking that question because you did have sex before you were really planning to have sex, or something like that. You wonder what the possibilities actually are, if there is more to it than just sex. Okay, is it void of emotion, basically, or possibility of anything deeper than that? So what's the highest perspective here? Nutrition. You conduct healing work with your culinary skills and acceptance. See yourself and others through the eyes of the angels with unconditional love and acceptance. In this way, you inspire and lift everyone to their highest potential. There's definitely going to be a need here too for you to okay, so what's going to heal this situation, or what's going to help you most in this situation, is for you to be gentle and nurturing. Okay, because you do have to make a choice, and I feel like ultimately you don't have to be overly concerned with how it may. I know you're going to be careful about how it's delivered, but you don't have to be overly concerned about the effects that it has. I think that's a good thing here, because wow, with this nutrition card, some of you or your partner could be dealing with impotence, and they are trying to look for different like any different little remedies to help with this. One of you or the other is going to introduce them to a certain diet or vitamin herb regimen or something like that that's going to help them. Okay, and I think because they open up and talk to you about this, because they accept it opens the door, for them to get the assistance that they want. So this takes me back to this being someone who's basically doesn't know what they're going to do about this problem, this health condition that they have. I think that someone was, there was someone who does have knowledge on it, but this person would not seek them out, and instead decided to just deal with it on their own. Okay, and ultimately there's with this higher perspective here. I don't know, I keep hearing, and this is coming from above, but it's just like you're going to cook a meal here. Like what's gonna there's something about a meal. You have a meal with this other person, or oh, okay, so maybe somebody is going to ask you to cook for them, or you cooked for them. There's something here about something that you keep feeding yourself, not necessarily food, something that you keep feeding your spirit. If this is sexual partners, some of you are needing to be very careful and using protection. Because it's funny, because my grandmother used to say this thing. She said to me one time, actually, um, she said, if you are not doing something to prevent it, then you were trying to do it. So basically, if you don't do something to prevent a certain result, then you wanted that result. That's how she said it. Ultimately, it's just something here where I'm like, accept that there was if somebody's being reckless, if something takes place, um, you need to not fall into despair about it. Forgive yourself for the actions that you made, or the actions that you took, and then seek out a cleaner diet so that your vibration can raise and you can heal. Okay. I also do feel like with the higher guidance with nutrition here, um, yeah, some of you are definitely being asked to start a new diet, to pay attention to your diet. Like, there's definitely lack of focus there. And hmm, okay, well, I do feel like there's some assistance here for you ultimately, whether this is partners or projects, and you're trying to figure out which one to connect yourself with fully. I think that what's going to happen is that you need to pay attention to where people are flowing into you, okay, or where opportunities or things flow into you. Pay more attention to that. And what's on the horizon? Romance is in the air, and a dark man. Okay, so back to the beginning where this was partners, two partners that are here, one other partner here. This person loves your cooking, and this is taking me off of the format of the reading, but this person 100% loves your cooking, and there's something about you fitting into their lifestyle. There's something here. There was a focus on sex before, and this person, because they were almost like plotting on their next person. They wouldn't accept offer of love that was right here, and they ignored whatever other option they had sitting back there too, because this thing was what they started planning a future with. This thing, that's so mean. um but someone's health is failing, and I think that there's some things that they're paying attention to. Some people feel like they were focused on the wrong thing and couldn't accept a new beginning when it was right there in front of their face, and they felt like they got left in the Five of Pentacles or left out in the cold because of that decision. I too feel like something is tied to their health too. So whatever this decision made, whether that was another partner, they experienced some type of disease or sickness regarding that. And this person, I see Rose, and Rose, a person's name can be Rose. So someone in the situation could be named Rose, or someone is that one of the last groups. One of the other groups had someone showing up with a group, a bunch of roses. So I do feel like you could have a darker complexion man show up, um, and this person has accepted certain feelings or accepted certain truths about how you fit and how you guys fit together. Certain things, yeah, certain they've healed whatever toxicity was in their mind before. And I think for you as well, there you could see the partner that you want to take, or the partner that is kind of best fitting, I guess is what we're looking at, is going to be something about a Rose with you. And I heard Rose Royce. What? Get out of here. Okay, so okay, so this rose, and I know that's not how it's spelled, but when I was saying it, I heard that in my mind. So this person could be very well off, but I feel like this person is a gentleman. Oh, so ooh, that's exciting. Okay, so for some of you, this could totally turn into some type of like event or buffet, or because I feel like there's something here where people are together, and this person, there's some type of romantic energy here. Okay, and there's okay such beautiful possibilities. Okay, let's look at the advice. What advice? Queen of Pentacles, right? Nurturing person. This person is very nurturing, but you should also take a very calm and centered approach here. Like, stay balanced. I want to take another one. Okay, and then the Page of Wands. All right. So yeah, so just basically make sure that you don't act only on passion alone. That you're not swept away with excitement, but also you don't got to be a Debbie Downer either. You don't have to doubt. Just allow yourself to remain grounded. All right. Don't focus on any doubts that you have either. So when this comes in, it looks like a good thing. Advice. Queen of Pentacles. Some of you are going to definitely be a homemaker in this situation. You're going to have not very much responsibility here. I say not much responsibility, but ultimately, not much is going to come in the way of your happiness, is all I'm saying. There's not much weighing on you. Joy, lighten up. Find that hidden inner child and have a play date. Laugh, be silly, dance and sing. It's time to have fun again. There's definitely and faith, something that you had definitely waited on. Something, and forgiveness at the bottom. And I feel I need to tell you guys that all these cards came out. But joy, faith, and forgiveness. This sounds definitely like someone who had lost faith in something. Lost faith in something or turned away from something because they didn't think that it could actually progress to the next level or that it would turn into anything good. The Six of Swords, basically is moving away from hard times, and ultimately I think that you felt like you couldn't recapture that the joyfulness, the playfulness. I say you, but this person as well. Now I lose track of who I'm talking to sometimes when I'm channeling. So but ultimately, Six of Swords is all about leaving the darkness, the hard times behind you and moving forward. And I think that there was a lack of faith here about this specific connection. You couldn't see the possibility. There was no possibility in your mind that this was going to happen. King of Cups. 100% you didn't think that this was going to mature. You didn't think that this was going to grow anymore, or that you would be fulfilled and get, the outcome that you desired here. All right. Whew. All right, group 5. It looks like for advice, you're asked to honor your emotions and stay as you move forward out of whatever was difficult or confusing. Because it does seem like this is confusing, or it's not confusing, but I think you're trying to make sure that you do the right thing, that you don't hurt anybody in the process. And trust your feelings, trust yourself. I think that there is no real wrong choice in this situation, if I'm being honest. What I feel, there's a win, there's stability in each of the situations. All right, I think that's that. Definitely remain balanced, exercise emotional maturity, and that's what I say. Don't allow yourself to just be swept away. But I don't know what I was saying, but whatever. Group 6. I'll just point out that if you guys have liked this reading so far, I would love it if you guys go ahead and subscribe, comment, leave your feedback. I am working to give you more detailed messages. I'm working with Spirit to give more detailed messages to you guys. And it really, really does benefit me and of course you guys too, if I know what hits, you know, because ultimately I learned tarot intuitively. I didn't do um, extensive study. I studied on my own, you know. And as you guys let me know that different things match your situations, those card meanings resonate with me, and I'm able to grow my, you know, my knowledge base and ultimately decipher the messages more in depth for you all. So your feedback is always appreciated. Okay, for group 6, your situation, the moon, the 6 of Pentacles, and the reflection. So with your situation, there is hidden motive behind a offer to you. I also feel like there is a problem figuring out where the imbalance is in a situation, or who or what is responsible for the imbalance in a situation. For some of you, you know, you are balancing finances, but I think that ultimately this is a argument or disagreement. I think that there's two conflicting sides or opinions here. No one is really taking a higher perspective here. Everyone is kind of just going back and forth. Ultimately, though, there is, for some of you, you made a request on the last full moon, and you are going to be receiving some insights regarding that soon. So there's 6 and 9 energy here, and I feel as if Cancer energy. For some of you, you're going to be receiving some help or assistance, even just something from someone after they have thought really long and hard about their contribution or lack thereof. So definitely feels like some people reflecting, or you reflecting on how to bring balance and harmony back to a situation. Also, I feel like someone is asking themselves, like, what else could I have done? What else could I have given to this situation? Or even better, you know, I'm hearing louder, why did I give so much to this situation? Why did I keep giving even after things had been revealed to me in a situation? Why did I ignore that? So there's a sense of reflection about, this is a kind of like taking stock or taking a review of how things have played out before, and then hoping to use this to bring better balance to the present. I hear that there's a lot of stuff that's going on between two sides, okay? And ultimately, it's two strong sides to it. And I think that I don't feel that one is wrong. I feel like there's honestly truth, growth, and wisdom to be had from both. If the underlying would be kind of like ego, underlying or undermining your sense of reflection would be your ego, right? Your ability to really reflect and connect the dots and find the truth of a matter would be blocked, right? So I do feel like there's kind of like this gray energy in this situation where someone is looking for an answer to or a solution to a problem, one that probably keeps occurring, okay? And I also too feel like for some, there are some things that are being distributed about your character, right? And you don't know that this is being talked about. So this could be negative, but it doesn't necessarily feel negative, but it could be. The back of my neck is hurting right now. So it could be negative, but I just heard somebody wants to see you hang. So, okay, cool. So it's negative. So there's some ulterior motives in a situation. And I think um, something that's being given to you or something that is being brought to you when it seems like it's help or assistance or support has something behind it. And I think that you are safe ultimately, but there is a need for you to just be mindful. I don't think this is one of those things where you have to change. You're not asked to change the situation because it feels like it's going to play out the way it's supposed to and come to balance. There's something here about numbers, about maybe a phone number that has lots of sixes or nines. Also, a specific, numbers. Okay, so if someone is giving help, then they're counting the help that they're giving you, almost in a way to, I don't know, make themselves feel like a humanitarian, to make themselves feel better about their contribution, basically. What's your view beyond illusion? And it's in reverse. So ultimately, um, your view is your view of this, or you're unable to see this just yet. I do feel like it's to be revealed soon, perhaps in Cancer season, because we got this whole 6-9 energy. So maybe in Cancer season, you will find some type of answer to this. Um, you could also receive, when you receive or accept whatever this is that's being given or shared with you. I feel like you were partially aware, somewhat aware, excuse me, that there's something tied to it. And I think that ultimately, though, I think that you still receive it or still accept it. It seems like you still accept it because I think that you're aware that the lesson or the lesson in this situation is not yours, it's theirs. With beyond illusion in the reverse, I also feel like you feel as if um, you could be becoming aware that this is a repetitive cycle. So you could also be dealing with some type of narcissistic energy, and I'm just throwing it out there because it just feels like someone who does things for publicity, you know. So for clout, and I think that you've been kind of blind to this whole time. What's the fog? Creativity. And I feel like that's another 3-9 energy down to a 3. Honestly, feel like this is something could be tied to a parent or a child. So you could this person here. So you could be receiving child support, and then there's something going on behind the scenes with that. But there's definitely some mother energy here. So the fog. I honestly feel like, what is here is that you kind of can be a little aloof. You can be a little um I mean, you can kind of deceive yourself in situations. You hopeful for an outcome, so you know you don't necessarily want to see things a certain way. Creativity is coming up for me as negative. As if it's the cloudiness, then I feel as if um, it could be sacral energy that's blocking you from seeing or from blocking you from receiving certain insights. But ultimately, I just feel like, oh, there's something here. This offer could be to support you in some type of endeavor. So some type of unique lifestyle that you want to live here. So this whole situation, this offer that you receive could be to get you to move away from something that you like. something that you have that resonates with you highly, and this offer comes in, and then you're unaware that it's that it impedes you basically from doing this thing that you're passionate about. I also do feel like some of us, some of you, your heads are in the clouds, so you're not seeing the truth here. You're not coming down to the ground and seeing the reality of it. Okay. Higher perspective, creative expression, and life purpose. Okay, so for here, some of you, this offer that comes in, if you see it as a negative thing, please, please, please take your time to make a choice, make a decision, because there's some things that are going to try to block you. So I feel like some old thoughts, behaviors, and patterns, just some things, residual stuff coming up to try to deter you from moving in this direction, taking this offer, because what's underlying could totally be, and we will see in a second, the revelation, you connecting with the unfolding of your life purpose. All right. What but to have creativity be the fog. Okay, so you know your intuition could be blocked because you are not necessarily dedicating time to your intuitive life or your spiritual life. So there's some blocks that you're experiencing, especially with beyond illusion here. So you could just be getting skewed type of messages and guidance that are missing pieces, or just kind of like not connecting all the way. Also, not being able to get creative ideas out into material form. I think some of you are ignoring a lot of your intuition right now, and then your intuition is not necessarily guiding you on how to go. But I think that because you haven't given time and energy or effort to either your creative craft or your spiritual practice, then you're experiencing blocks. I also feel like that this offer coming in could be attempting to deter you from connecting with your life purpose. I think I said that already. Um, so you could be one or two sides where this thing is coming in to reveal your life purpose, or this is coming in to attempt to block you from it. Your song longs to express itself creatively and life purpose. The purpose of your life is to serve in a way that brings great joy to yourself and others. Don't worry about finding your purpose. Instead, focus upon serving a purpose, and then your purpose will serve you. Many of you, that is, I said something underlying, and ultimately, I feel like another message is the fact that that's what you guys were searching with the reflection and or hermit card here. You were trying to connect with what you were supposed to do, your purpose, okay? The reason behind something, why this thing came into my life. And I feel like for some of you, if there's a sense of discord in this situation, I don't know whether it be with a person or just general discord, something that you wrote, some expression, something that you created from an experience, created an imbalance, okay? And I'm just putting that out there. So the beyond the fog, take care, enemies are working against you. See, now that clarifies that for that message of something is working against you connecting with your higher purpose. With the feminine, with the creative energy here and the stork, there is a project that you could have started, and I feel like you're not giving energy to this thing. You're not giving energy to it because you don't see that the things that you are giving your energy to are actually blocking you. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So some things are being brought into your realm to deter you, to bring your attention away from something. And I just heard that somebody wants you to change your focus so that they can take your idea and get it done before you can. Somebody already has the funds, resources, and everything to do this, but you're already moving in that direction to do it. So if they could get you to commit otherwise, then they can steal, I say steal, but we don't have to steal things, because we can all pull ideas and opportunities from the iCloud, from the cloud, which is the universal conscious. Um, and go with it. So there's really no need for that. But ultimately, it does feel like um, someone's trying to block you, okay, from doing what you're supposed to do. And ultimately, it feels as if there could be some tension or turmoil or further digging that comes about when you do this. So if you're supposed to write, some of the things that you write about could cause um, further investigation into things, whether that just be within your family unit or on a larger scale. Um, Also, what's coming, you can expect for it to be revealed that someone has been working against you. That's for sure. It doesn't cause a sense of failure in my mind. I don't feel like this actually causes failure. It just feels like, you know, once you see it, once you see these opportunities for what they are, then you're going to be more discerning and mindful about what you actually give your energy to. And you're going to be looking beyond. You're not going to be driven by, oh my gosh, I need to be creating, I need to have this, I need to complete something. You won't be so driven by that and almost thirsty for opportunities. Okay, you'll be patient and you'll know that what's coming in is what you're supposed to explore. The emperor, yes. I feel like you're gonna take a step back and go back to the basics of what it is that you want to do, instead of allowing yourself to kind of be pulled and dragged in every direction. I also feel like with advice, this is telling you that there is someone here who wants to control your situation, control your direction, or how things play out for you. So you're going to need to definitely take your power back, or maintain your power and your control over your own life, okay? Over your own happiness, ultimately. All right. Boldness. Yes. Boldness is so representative of Emperor energy. Don't take down. Get up and fight, but fairly. This fight will be remembered because of the respect and dignity you bring to the battle. Yes. Okay. So because there will be a certain level of awareness that you have about what's taking place. As things. Okay. Let's go back because I feel like I just spoke weird. So there is a certain level, you may be coming into this realization now, or just had the realization that you have been manipulated, okay, in a situation. And now that you're aware of that, you're standing up for yourself, okay? You're standing up for yourself, and the way that you respond, if you end up, like, say for instance, you ended up in court, because we do have the scales here on the Six of Pentacles, which could be child support court or something like that, child custody court or something. I feel like, you just stand up for yourself and say, you honor your truth, you maintain your own integrity, because there's not really much defending you can do about something that somebody orchestrated, so you can't defend someone. Okay, if someone commits to paying child support for 12 months so that they can have record that they paid child support for 12 months, and then they take you to court with that record, there's nothing you can do to throw that record out because it actually happened. But because you're already aware that this situation was taking place, or that you're aware on an intuitive level that something was happening and that you were still going to be the victor anyway, you're more you can have more compassion and just chillness, when it comes to dealing with this person or the situation in general, because you're in control of self, and you know that. And the Knight of Wands lets me know that, yes, you won't fall into that saying, you've learned your lesson. You won't play the game back and forth of toxicity and who's right, who's wrong. Ultimately, that, especially if this is custody or some type of legal stuff, that, you get the outcome that you want by focusing on maintaining positivity, by being, showing, presenting with understanding, presenting with a solution-based mentality, okay? Because when you present yourself with that energy and another person is coming with conflict and just wants to smear, then you show yourself, you prove yourself to be the more in control of yourself, the one who is looking for resolve and not control of the situation. I also feel like, if you work with it, you remain humble and work with it, then you get the outcome that you desire. But ultimately, when we're working humbly, all I'm saying is don't allow yourself to become haughty and anything like that, or to decide that you have to try to prove yourself or make that person out to be a bad guy, belittling them. Maintain your integrity, maintain your own positive energy. This plays out in your favor. So, I say it plays out in your favor, but ultimately, your ascension and your process, the awakening, your rebirth, your rise, the fulfillment of your purpose is not stopped by this. Your boldness, your desire, your drive to continue forward and to see this come into fruition, to connect with it, first of all, the desire to seek it out, what your purpose is, and now the passion, the sun card, the passion to go and make it a reality, you know, is very bold. That is boldness, all right? So maintain your dignity in the situation. No need to bring yourself down to anyone else's level, because ultimately the sun came out and this is a positive outcome, all right? So remain bold, Group 6. Again, thank you guys so much for viewing. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit like, comment below what you picked and how it resonated for you. As always, keep watering your flowers, keep growing, keep feeding into yourself, pulling up weeds as you go, and your harvest is going to continuously be bountiful and plentiful. Peace and light.